Last year, the International Esports Tournament finished with Moon on top and Sky following in second place. Both of them are back, but they must fight off 10 other players, including Todd, Grubby, Hot, and Fob. Can the fifth race repeat, or will one of the other 4 races win the International Esports Tournament? Of the 12 players participating in the tournament, 9 made it there by invitation. 3 Koreans, Moon, Fob, and Soju, and 6 Europeans, including 3 members of 4 Kings, Grubby, Todd, and Zeus, in addition to Hooligan, Hot, and Sass. The 3 remaining spots went to the 3 top finishers from a massive Chinese qualifier, which included no fewer than 46 players and all of the top Chinese players. Sky barely made it out after losing to Psy in the semifinals before beating Like to grab the 3rd qualifying spot. Those 12 players will split into 4 groups of 3 players, with the top 2 from each group advancing. We skipped Group A, where Sass bowed out early to Sky against Zeus, and go to Group B. In that group, Grubby already lost to Psy, and he needs a 2-0 victory over Soju to force a tiebreaker. The first map is Taranis Stand, and Grubby starts out with an archer kill. At Tier 2, Soju goes for harassment group, but Grubby has his buildings placed very well in the back of his base, and they both survive. But his Voodoo Lounge, placed very far outside, is not so lucky. Soju goes in to try and do some damage, but in the end, he has to use his Staff of Preservation and his Staff of Teleportation to get both of his heroes out. Grubby goes after what Soju can't save with his staff. 2 Moonwells facing off against a Goblin Sapper. As always, the Sapper wins, and Soju is down 20 food. Grubby throws in a small creep jack to his pile of advantages and goes after Soju. Cyclone comes out, but the Tinker is still in the tavern. With the Demon Hunter surrounded, the Tauren Chieftain gets off a few good shockwaves before he's mana burned. Grubby might not have the best performance in some tournaments, but he's ready to punish anyone, as he showed in the first game. The second map is Echo Wilds, and it's still a must-win situation for Grubby. Soju starts off with Tier 2 harassment as always and gets a burrow kill. Grubby micros the ensuing battle perfectly, but he still can't manage to kill anything. Between the Staff of Teleportation and the Staff of Preservation, he doesn't have much to work with. He finally gets Ensnare in his town portal back, earns him an archer kill. Ensnare works to also get him a Beastmaster kill, and he makes sure to keep it ensnared so Soju can't use Staff of Preservation on it. Grubby pushes forward and looks to push Soju before the Cyclone upgrade comes into play, but Soju gets the upgrade finished, and Grubby goes as high as a kite. The armies are still meager for both players, and the soon-to-be level 3 Tauren Chieftain could tip the scales for Grubby. A pseudo Creepjack looks to be good for Grubby, but Soju plays very well and blocks Grubby from his Druids of the Talon, and Grubby is forced to back off. Grubby goes to fight again, but his army is getting smaller by the moment with focus fire from Soju. Cyclone keeps forcing Grubby back into the battle, but it's a battle he doesn't want to fight. That doesn't mean he can't make the best of it with a Beastmaster kill before he town portals. Soju stays on the offensive, but Grubby gets a great position on him, and he has to town portal out. Soju comes back again, and Grubby is fighting for more hero kills. He gets the Demon Hunter, but Soju dominates him in the army department. Finally, Soju looks to break through with the Tauren Chieftain kill. Speed Scroll comes out, but he still manages to get the kill. Grubby counters with a Beastmaster kill, but the town portal comes out first. With that, both mines run out. Grubby puts up a new base while Soju walks his Tree of Life over. They fight again, and this time Grubby is in a serious food deficit. He makes a break for Soju's expansion before finally picking a spot to fight. Again, his heroes do some damage, but his army can't muster up the kind of output that he needs. A missed Demon Hunter kill in an undefended expansion looked bad for Grubby, but his heroes can't run from Cyclone, and the Tauren Chieftain is surrounded. Grubby loses the game and again gets eliminated from a tournament in the early stages, only able to win 1 map out of 4 games. All of them Night Elf versus Orc. Soju and Psy move out of Group B, and we head on to Group C. In that group, we see Hot, Moon, and Infi. Moon, of course, coming off a 3rd-place performance at World Cyber Games, where he beat Hot 2-1 in the round of 8. Infi managed to win the Chinese qualifier, no small feat, but he is yet to break out and go deep in major tournaments. Hot managed to upset Moon in 3 unspectacular games. Now Moon must beat Infi to make it to the next round. Infy gets close spawns on Turtle Rock, and he tries to take out Moon's Ancient of War placed near the creeps. He doesn't manage to take it out, but he is back a few seconds later to start his tower push. The first tower goes up, but with archers and a second Ancient of War, Moon puts an end to the push and forces Infy out of his base, which is an extremely good sign for the Night Elf player. But that doesn't stop Infy. He's back to try his push again with a mess of footmen and militia. The footmen focus on the archers while the Demon Hunter tries to micro around the peasants. He just makes it out of a surround before getting himself into what looks like another. He then town portals on top of the Archmage, and with his boots of speed, we're off to the races. Sometime later, he finishes off the Archmage. In the meantime, despite another Ancient of War for Moon, the first tower finishes. With 2 more close behind it, things do not look good for Moon. 2 of his own towers finishes, but with 3 towers in range of his main, it won't last long. He tries to move his towers over, but with the aid of footmen, the Garteors take them out easily. Finally, Siege comes out for Moon, and he looks to have a chance against the towers. In the meantime, the Demon Hunter gets into another race with the Archmage and gets another hero kill. But despite a better hero, the towers dominate the Tree of Life just as the Siege comes out for Moon. But inexplicably, Wisp stops preparing the Tree of Life, and it falls. With that, Moon is looking for level 6 Demon Hunter for any chance of winning at all, but he just gets his Demon Hunter surrounded, and Infy takes the first game. On to game 2, where Infy starts off with an offensive house, followed by a tower push. Moon switched over to the Warden and goes straight for the Archmage. The Warden picks off peasants easily, but then Moon uproots his Tree of Life for no reason before quickly rooting it again. Seizing the opportunity, Infy goes in and takes out the entangled gold mine while it tries to entangle to grab a 1,200 gold advantage. But the first tower push never caught traction, so Infy tries it again, this time against a level 3 Warden, which quickly dispatches of the Archmage before picking off footmen and peasants with ease. One Shadow Strike instantly kills a peasant, and Infy leaves before he can see too many of his workers die. We go to a Night Elf-friendly map of Twisted Meadows. At World Cyber Games, Creo got a few peasant kills on this map, and Moon continues the tradition with 3 peasant kills early on. Despite that, Infy still tries for the expansion, and despite heavy harassment, he manages to creep it out and finish it. Moon counter-expands with his pan and gets level 3 on the Demon Hunter. Infy tries to cancel it, but the 4 footmen aren't the army he was looking for. The Dryads and the Mountain King come out, and the MK doesn't last too long. Rather than wait, Moon goes on the offensive with his level 3 Panda and Breath of Fire. He sees the MK trapped inside of Infy's base, but waits to break him out until he can get the surround. Finally, he does, and he gets the Mountain King kill. The counter Exo was correctly countered with steam tanks, and after the Mountain King kill, Moon has to town portal to save his expansion. Moon just barely saves it, but the second time the tanks come, he's ready for it, with 3 Ancients of War and some Mud Golems for slow. Infy doesn't even manage the smaller task of taking out the entangled gold mine. This whole time, Moon has had a few units in the back of Infy's base taking out buildings, and that's where the fight goes next. Infy tries more tanks, but Moon has the perfect combination to counter with. The Panda Mud Golems, Druids of the Talon, slow the tanks, lower their armor, and finally the Panda kills them. An Archmage kill doesn't hurt, and neither does the Mountain King kill, which Moon picks up later in the fight. His base is mostly destroyed, but that larger force of steam tanks will take quite a while to rebuild. Infy will not even try to rebuild them, and he calls it quits.